The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered! 12 covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
You know, curveballs can be fun when you hit them. Happy Monday, boys and girls. What's up? We told you we were going to be off today. We're on today and tomorrow, for that matter. Yes. We flipped it. We told you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. We'll flip that. Now it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. Monday, Tuesday, you've got us. He's Dave Sherapan. I am Matt Perrault, and we are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book, and the same on Twitter, X, Replayed, Sports Grid TV, and on Sirius XM, channel 159. Dave, we start today. Good to see you, but how about before the show even started today, before we even got rolling today?
Yeah.
Super chat before we even started.
Mr. Wobble with 2 Andrew Jacksons, right? That's who's on the 20. Happy Monday. Good to see you gentlemen today. Had a hell of a weekend. Might get limited soon. Hashtag always forward, never straight. I hope you don't get limited. I'm glad you had a good weekend. That is awesome. That's the first time for us. Monday, May 19th, 2025. Awesome. Cool stuff. Thank you, Mr. Wobble. Thank you for being here. Boys and girls, we had a change in plans, so we're able to do the show today and tomorrow. Yeah, come in tomorrow. We'll shout you out roll call because that'll be the last show of the week.
Yeah.
We got things going on. We'll get to that at some point. We'll address all that. But I'm glad I'm here. You're glad we're here. We're all glad we're here.
Hold on.
Can't wait to talk about the Leafs losing. Chris Garvey, right at the top. Right at the top. Oh, boy.
You know, it was a pretty wild weekend. There were a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things that happened both, but I think everybody really is on the same page here because how in the world up 2-0? They're up 2-0, and they wind up falling in the spring, which is, well, what happened last night. If you are a Toronto fan, if you are a Maple Leafs fan, Dave, how in the world are you getting up this morning and feeling good about your hockey team? They blew it again, and they got smacked. I said it on Sports Grid yesterday when I was on with Joe Ranieri. I said, this Game 7 being in Toronto is actually the worst case scenario for the Leafs. I just thought playing at home meant they were going to play tight the entire game. And somebody, I think it may have been PB or somebody said it looked like there was a power play for 3 periods going on for the Panthers. And I thought, you know what? That's a really accurate way of describing the 6-1 win for Florida.
They withstood the onslaught in the first period. I mean, they didn't get a shot for the first 11 minutes of the game. And somehow got out of that period tied 0-0 and thought, man, I was watching the game going, well, they got to get the first goal because if they don't, they're going to get run over. And I bet over 4.5 when it went down because I was like, this is an elimination game. These things always go over. And I was like, maybe that wasn't such a good bet when it was 0-0. And then the second period happened. And they got 3 goals very quickly. I was, hockey always has priority on the TV, but I was like, I wonder what's going on in the Mets and Yankees game now. You know,
turn the lights out. That was click.
That was it.
Turn the light 3-0. Turn the lights out. Game over. That was everybody in the building. Everybody in Toronto. Everybody in Canada knew. Damn it, we're done. That's it.
Jimmy Football's here. He's always here. Toronto
Eric.
guy. Volbex, Eric, Austin Matthews is the James Harden of the NHL. Ouch. Ouch. That's not good. No, Lake Show, this is
solidarity.
a hat is an attempt at sarcasm or dark humor. No, it's just it was here, lined up for the show. If I needed it, it'll be put away and maybe in mothballs. It's going to be a while before I wear this one again. I like it, and the price was right when I got it. But yeah, I don't know. Apparently, Marner's coming to Pittsburgh now. They're going to blow up this Core 4, whatever they called themselves. What is this?
The Core 4 is 0-7 in deciding games in their career. And this is, I think if you're a Leafs fan, you're staring at this going, how in the heck is this group, Nylander, Marner, Matthews, this group cannot win together. And Marner is a free agent, so it looks like he's going to be gone. Others are calling for a massive overhaul in Toronto to change everything, but it's hard. The snore for
GPC the fourth. You guys are great. You guys are phenomenal.
I mean, you got to feel, though, for Toronto fans, I mean, you're up 2-0 on the defending Cup champs, and you feel like you're going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
You feel like, hey, this is the team. I mean, there were think pieces being written about why this Maple Leafs team is different.
Yeah.
Like this team is built differently. This team has got a better idea of what it wants to accomplish. And they all wound up in the same spot.
Incredible, because they got the goaltending. It wasn't the goaltending's fault. They got the coach. Berube had in a different mindset.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I ain't taking nothing away from Florida. Florida looks like the best team. They are nasty. They are physical. And Bobrovsky is all the way back. All the way back. I don't know. I was thinking of Minnesota fans. I was thinking of Cleveland fans. I was like, Toronto again?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
And it's got to be the end of whatever that Core 4 ain't going to be the 4. Ain't going to be the 2, maybe the 1, maybe the who knows. I don't know.
This has been called, I mean, I've been reading a lot in the Toronto media, but this team, this failure, for whatever reason, this time it feels different in Toronto. Like they've had it. Like they don't want to see this team in its current form ever again. And they're like, it didn't work. No matter how big of a year Nylander had, no matter how big of a career Austin Matthews is having, it doesn't matter. Blow this thing up. Like, make this look much different next year, because we don't want to see this anymore. We're tired of watching these guys lose in big moments.
Does that mean Matthews goes or everybody else?
I think everybody's gone. I think that they're going to entertain everything. I mean, he could be gone. I wouldn't trade him, but I know there's a long list of suitors that would love to see him come back to the States to play in America. So there'll be a market there if they want to go and do that. I mean, there could be. We've spent a lot of time talking about the movement in the NBA. Like there could be a lot of movement in the NHL in this offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, Brady Tkachuk might be a Bruin. You hear that over the weekend? Like,
what?
No, yeah, he's a perfect Bruin, and Ottawa may move him, and he may go and play for the Bruins next year.
Wow.
So you've got all these different. If Matthews winds up leaving and going somewhere else, like there could be a lot of big name players in the NHL in this offseason be moved around. So it feels like Toronto is going to be a much different franchise next year, because this was bad. Like this was bad.
I mean, as good as Game 6 was the biggest surprise, Toronto going to Florida and winning. Game 7 played out like I thought Game 6 was going to play out.
Fair.
Right? Like they were coming into that Panther den. I almost said Lions den, but it's not the Lions, it's the Panthers. And that's the way it was going to go. They weren't going to get more than 2 goals. Florida was going to get more than 4 or more, and it was going to be one of those nights. They somehow found a way to win that game in Game 6.
And then lay down.
The Lucy with the football analogy is just 100%. Like, man, they were right there, and boom, pull the football away, and ended up right on their ass.
So if the weekend wasn't bad enough for Canada, the Stars beat the Jets in 6 as another President's Trophy winner goes down and fails to win the cup. The last team to play a full season to be the President's Cup and Stanley Cup winner in the same season was the 2007-2008 Detroit Red Wings. It was a strike-shortened year when Chicago did it. So it wasn't a full season when they were the best team and won the cup back in 13-14, but that wasn't a full season. It's been a long time since the best team in the regular season has gone on to win the cup. Why is that? Why do you think that's happening so much?
I don't have one explanation, but a lot of times that team isn't like not playoff built. It's two different things. The playoffs and the regular season are two different things. And just because you had all of that success in the regular season doesn't mean it translates to the playoffs. For whatever reason, guys get hurt.
Yeah.
It's just the goaltending is not the best.
I think
don't know.
I think it's tendencies. I think when you play the same team for 4, 5, 6, 7 games, everyone has tendencies. So when you play a 82 game season, you're playing 3 games in 6 or 7 nights. You're playing in different cities. Some teams are just really good at the rhythm of a season. They just get into that routine where like they're comfortable. They get in there. They have their game plan. It translates well. And they get into, for whatever reason, they're just into a different mindset in the way they play. Doesn't change for a tournament setting where you need to have multiple different ways to win. It feels like there's a one-trick pony every year that's very good in the regular season, that works really well in the regular season. But then when it comes time to the playoffs and you got to win 4 games out of 7 multiple times, that there's too much tape, that the good quality coaches know how to stop you and the goaltenders know what you're going to try to do to them. And it ultimately catches up to you.
I think another thing that might be underrated is that during the regular season, a lot of times the team that's President's Cup winner is the best at power plays.
Ooh, okay.
Or, like has a really good power play.
Or killing.
Or PK or penalty killing. And
because what do you say for the goaltending for Winnipeg when you have a goaltender in the regular season who is epic, who is a Vezina finalist? Hellebuck regular season is not the same as Hellebuck in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Different player.
It's going to be one of the great mysteries until he actually gets to a cup final.
Right.
That is going to be being asked about, what is in his head. Like, that's going to be on everybody's mind. It has to be on his when it starts to go. I mean, that was an unbelievable hockey game. That was an unbelievable hockey game on Saturday night. Just, with the Scheifele stuff, his dad passes away.
Scores the first goal.
You just can't make it up. It was so.
It felt like they were going to win the game. Like, he plays. His dad wanted him to play.
Yep.
He scores the first goal. They're up 1-0, and you're like, oh my gosh, the Jets are going to get back to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And then 1-1 happened, and it was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
The tide turned. If you were Team USA and you had to win a game, say it's the gold medal game at the Olympics, would you play Hellebuck or would you play Oettinger? Those are your 1-2 goalies right now in Team USA.
And hockey fans know they don't miss nothing. They're chanting U.S. backup, when they're in Winnipeg, right? To Oettinger.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what they were saying down in Dallas, going back and forth. It's hard to argue. I mean,
Butchie says only one person says Hellebuck. That's Butchie. Everybody else is all over Oettinger.
Well, I mean, you saw what he did again.
I would play
win a
game. I mean, again, it wasn't Hellebuck's fault that Binnington. I mean, somebody might say play Binnington. I mean, you may go get the third goaltender and go play him.
Well, he's Canadian. Bennington's Canadian.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
Against yeah. Sorry for forgetting that. St. Louis Canadian confused me. Yeah.
Right.
I play Oettinger. I don't play Hellebuck. I play Oettinger.
We won't have to worry about that for a little while. So
no, what do you mean? No, in 2 years we will. The World Cup of Hockey is coming. in 2 years.
It's 2 years. We're gonna worry about the next round. I'm not
Oh,
worried
fair.
about
Yeah,
that
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
But
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like,
just-
that's a big conversation going on right now, as Team USA is looking ahead to the World Cup of Hockey. They're like, who is gonna be our starting goaltender? Like right now, it's Hellebuck, but I don't know if it's going to be that way long term. It may not be
Right.
there. We may not have that. So the NHL Final Four is set. Oilers, Stars, Hurricanes, and the Panthers. We now know the odds. Florida and Edmonton are co-favorites.
Yep.
Dallas at plus 270 and Carolina back at 3-1. What does this board tell you? Because what it tells me is that the books really don't know. Numbers
games,
are very
series
tight.
prices are series prices are minus 125 on the favorites, both of them, maybe 130. I mean, you got to shop around.
Edmonton and Dallas opened at a pick,
which is the right number. I think after what you saw, how this series doesn't go at least 6 is going to be shocking to me, in likely 7, where I think each team may win one road game. Otherwise, they're winning all the home games, so they may split in Edmonton at first and split in Dallas. I mean, split in Dallas and then split in Edmonton. Dallas has home ice. And then play it out. Nobody's winning 3 games in a row in this series. I'd be very surprised. You?
I would be stunned. I mean, Edmonton has not had home ice yet. So, like, this is par for the course and how they have played, except Dallas has been very good at home and better at home, as you'd expect, than on the road. So for Dallas, they need to protect home ice. Like, Edmonton's already gone to Vegas and won game 1 and game 2. They've proven they can take both games on the road to start a series. So Dallas better be ready to go. And I want to see who plays in net for Edmonton, because we talked about it last week about the record for Pickard and what he can do early in a series versus what they may have later in the series, where you have Skinner, who is unbelievable in games 4, 5, 6, and 7, but he's trash in games 1, 2, and 3. So
I don't think it's a question. I think they're going to play Skinner myself and just
really
go with it. I
in
do.
game 1.
I don't know. Playing the moving switching game now.
Butchie's asking for
finals.
the odds to be put up again. He wants to cut.
240, Edmonton and Florida, 270 for Dallas, 310 for Carolina. KJR 305 said, I don't think Carolina. A lot of people don't think Carolina. Justin Simpson, as a Houstonian, I just need Dallas to lose. Okay, that's fine.
Look at the Texans versus Titans, and is that Taylor Lewan getting punched in the head by Andre Johnson? That's a hell of an avatar.
It is, yeah, that's really good.
Hey, the hell of an avatar there for a Texans fan. I like that at all. Cats will calm the Canes. Yeah, I think that's possible. I don't think that's impossible. But let me ask you this: so it's McDavid or Rantanen right now. Is it a better bet to bet Stars and Oilers, the series, or bet McDavid or Rantanen to win the Conn Smythe? Because you can get 4 to 5 to 1 here.
Correct.
On McDavid and Rantanen.
Correct.
To win the Conn Smythe. Stars Oilers, as we mentioned, it's 125, 115. It's not that big of a discrepancy between the two. But if they win the Cup, McDavid's winning. If Edmonton wins the Cup, McDavid's winning the Conn Smythe. And same thing can be said for Rantanen, no? Dallas wins the Cup, Rantanen wins Conn Smythe?
How does he not?
So,
how does he not? I mean, like, the only other one would be Ottinger, right? But I don't think he's
the
up
odds
to
are,
this point.
The third pick is I think is I forget. Hold on. I think it's a goalie, I believe.
Hold on. I'll look right now.
The third option on Conn Smythe. Let's see. Yeah, it's Anderson. Anderson's the third option at plus
Carolina.
550. Yep. And Bobrovsky at 750. You have 2 goaltenders, 3, and then Ottinger at 11 to 1. A goalie's not winning the Conn Smythe. Come on.
Florida wins it. Bobrovsky could win it. No,
I don't think so. I mean, I guess if Florida does win it, someone's got to be giving it, and it would be Bobrovsky because of the series he's had or the playoffs he's had. But I love this idea of betting on Rantanen or McDavid. You're getting plus money here, And you don't need to bet Stars or Oilers to win the Cup. You're getting better odds on McDavid and Rantanen to win the Conn Smythe.
Yeah, for sure you are. I don't know. I think about it. What the actual Stanley Cup price would be, because if it's Carolina, either Western Conference team is going to be favored.
Yeah, definitely.
If it's Florida,
pick.
I think it'll be pick 'em, maybe a slight favorite. Maybe a slight favorite to the Western Conference team because they have home ice.
JJ, I saw you on Friday saying you haven't seen me in a long time. Well, get ready to see us, dude. It's almost contest season. You're going to be seeing a lot of us soon, so don't worry.
Yeah, we will see. We will see.
We never see you guys. Relax. You'll see us. Don't worry. You'll see me at least.
I got to see the boys yesterday. I stopped down there. It's maybe my favorite thing about today. We do it at the end of the show every day.
Nice.
I had a really good day yesterday. I'm going to recap it real quick. So
good.
Got to see some boys. It was fun.
JJ likes the Hurricanes to win it all. You're in the minority, my friend. Not saying
he always likes the dog. He likes the best price. That's good.
I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just you're in the minority in terms of what people are going to say.
Right.
And the prices for that matter as well.
You guys type in the chat right now, hockey, what do I call them? Puckheads. And I said it with a P, Will. Puckheads. Who do you got winning the Stanley Cup? Right there. Just pick one team. You got to pick it. Florida, Carolina, Dallas, Edmonton. I think both series, if you guys haven't been watching hockey, you know that's all I watch, these playoffs. I just can't get enough of it. These are going to be great games.
For me, it's Dallas, Florida. That's your Cup final.
I can't say you're wrong. I think it's Florida as well. I can't dismiss Edmonton. I just cannot. I think they can get back because they look different. 7th game last year, Stanley Cup, and I think they look better.
I just think Dallas was the odds-on favorite a month and a half ago to win it all for a reason. They got healthy during the playoffs, which is very rare to get your best defenseman and one of your best offensive weapons back in the playoffs. I don't love Peter DeBoer. I'm not going to lie. We watched him here in Vegas. I'm not a huge – I like him. I don't love him. So that's a little bit of a worry for me with how the team will be approaching games, but I like the goaltending advantage. I think when you have two goaltenders and not one, it's scary in the playoffs. I would prefer just to pencil somebody in every night and I know who's playing. And Dallas has that with Oettinger. A little bit of a question mark when it comes to who's going to play when for Edmonton. But if Ottinger's on, you need Rantanen to be as good as he has been. Because when he's not scoring or he's not setting up goals, their offense has bogged down a little bit. They haven't scored as much. So that's my one little concern about, all right, well, if you can shut down Rantanen, can you slow down the Dallas offense?
They've been getting peripheral scoring, though.
You're mean.
Lord Stanley will never go back to Canada. Yorkie, don't say never. It's been long enough. 1993, it's been long enough. Yeah.
But they have one team left. They had three options. Now they have one. 25% chance of getting it right. Of getting it. It's not great. Not great.
Not. I mean, it's still 8 wins away. Like we got to this point, you're halfway.
Yeah, right. 8
I mean,
wins.
what a journey. Like the NBA's halfway too.
Yeah.
It just feels different.
Well, because hockey is such about attrition, right? The physicality, the injuries, the number of pucks you've taken on the shin or on your, boot, your hand.
Did you see the official take the stick to the face yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Not good.
And meanwhile, I remembered when they said it, but they got the backup officials sitting in the locker room, fully dressed except for their skates, ready to go at any moment's notice.
Yep.
And that guy got to come out, tie his skates, and get out there and get loose. Hey, we're in game 7 in Toronto. There ain't no stretching. Let's go. It was incredible.
It's going to be a weird. That could be like a 30 for 30, the life of a backup referee.
Man.
Like, what do you do? Like play like solitaire or like watch a show or like, what do you do? How do you handle that?
I think you just sit back and watch the game on TV, don't you?
Yeah, probably. But you can't relax too much. You got to be like a little bit, your mind's got to be at least a little bit engaged.
Right.
Can't go from 0 to 100 in 30 seconds like you're walking out in front of 20,000 people in person and 1 million on TV.
Although they just let everything go for the most part. Game 7 was just like, just play, boys. We're not going to be involved in this too much.
Right.
It was good. I prefer that.
Fair. I would agree. You mentioned it. We run into the NBA with the Thunder yesterday, destroying the Nuggets in Game 7, 125-93 to advance. I did what I normally did. I was dead wrong taking plus 8.5, and then in game I came back and took 3. But I am I'm pretty impressed. I came in and I took before the game, I took the Thunder at plus 110 to win it all. They were still plus money yesterday.
I know.
Before Game 7.
Yeah.
That felt wrong. And I was doing it with Ranieri on Sports Grid, and we were like, okay, hold on a second. How in the world is OKC still plus money, knowing they have Game 7 at home, and the number is completely flipped and changed now? I mean, you're laying big juice on them now. We'll put it up in a second, but I was pretty impressed with the Thunder yesterday.
I spent the afternoon at the Las Vegas Aviators baseball game checking the score.
Yep.
Never even went back and watched 1 second of it.
Didn't need to.
No, I said, this is playing out as it should at home as a big favorite.
Yeah.
It got a lot of people in on the dog. A lot of people took 8.5, 8 pregame on Denver. I would have liked to have seen this from OKC on the road in Game 6, to be perfectly honest.
Okay. I can subscribe to that.
So the little bit of doubt is still there. That's for me, winning it on the road is that much more.
Right.
But like Mr. Wobble's right there, he said, I want to buy a T-Wolves ticket. Any chance?
Yes.
Absolutely, I think.
Yes, there's definitely a chance. I mean, the first quarter yesterday, it was 26-21 Nuggets after the first quarter. Yeah. So, there was still a little bit of and then that second quarter, that's when I got out and I took OKC because 39-20. They outscored the Nuggets 39-20 in the second quarter. That was it. They just put the hammer down and said, forget this. We're not doing this. This is our game.
Was that more of Denver running out of steam or OKC imposing its will?
Well, I mean, Jokic only scored 20, and you had a grade 2, and I can't believe how well Aaron Gordon played. You should never even have played. I mean, I don't know what drugs they gave him to let him play, but I'm sure he's hurting like hell this morning. But he was supposed to miss a month, and he played yesterday. So I think there was a lot of that. I think everything just caught up to Denver, and OKC is deeper, better. And if you show a little tiny blink, if you just stop a little bit and give them an opening, they're going to blow you out. And we talked about during the year, they had 57 wins during the regular season, double-digit wins. They can kill anyone with the best of them. So that was Denver showing a little weakness and showing a little bit of a vulnerability. And OKC just took them to the woodshed. Killed them.
It was good on you and Joe for seeing that pregame, because if they win, they should have been small minus money favorites, minus 110, minus 115, somewhere in that neighborhood before the game. Because if they win a game, obviously home court again.
Yeah.
Home court the rest of the way. And the other side is not Celtics. It's not Cavs. It's Knicks and Pacers.
Yep.
So you said it here on this show. I've heard other people say it on other shows and stuff, and that the Western Conference Final is the NBA championship.
Yeah.
You still think that?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. 100% think that. And the odds pretty much tell us that that's what, at least from a book perspective, that's what the books think. OKC is minus 175.
Yeah.
Knicks are plus 4. Remember, that was plus 110 before the game yesterday.
Yep.
Now it's 175. Knicks are 460, T-Wolves 650, and the Pacers $7.
Is it a done deal that they win game 1?
Which one? Did OKC wins game 1?
Yep.
I think so. I mean, look, I said this before.
They're 7 or 7.5 point favorites.
I'll say it again. I really want the T-Wolves to win this series. I want Minnesota to win a championship. If you look at the number, this is crazy. First time NBA history, there will be 7 different champs in over 7 years. The Knicks are the only team left that have won a championship, and the last time they won a championship, I wasn't born. I was born in 1977. Last time Knicks won a championship was 1973. Okay.
I turned 3 in 1973. I only had one brother born at that time.
Okay.
Another brother and 2 sisters. That's a long time ago.
Pacers, 0. T-Wolves, 0. Thunder, well, they're a baby. They're still in diapers as a franchise,
right?
Comparatively. So 0 for them. 7 champions in 7 different seasons. This is parity. It has arrived for the NBA that we are now in an era of parity, and first round or second round losses for 6 straight years for the team that wins the championship. The next year, they're out either in the second round or the first round. The Lakers lost in the first. The 5 other champions lost in the in the second round. 3 straight years, second round, including Boston this year getting bounced.
Really hard to repeat.
It's extremely hard to repeat. And frankly, I like it. Like, that's good for basketball. That's good for the NBA to have parity. I know people love dynasties and people love to, make fun of dynasties and like cheer against them, the Chiefs and whatnot, Patriots and in football. But, the NFL is set up not to have dynasties, and we've had dynasties. The NBA has been set up for dynasties, and we haven't had one in a while.
Yep.
So it is interesting. And I thought Peyton Pritchard's comments after game 6 on Friday night were pretty interesting, where he said he considers what the Spurs did as a dynasty, the Tim Duncan led Spurs, that era. He said that was a dynasty, right? He goes, they never won back-to-back. So we're here to learn from this loss and to come back next year and try to continue what we are doing.
Fair.
To go win another one.
Yeah.
And keep this dominance of the Eastern Conference. Now we'll see what the roster looks like, because Boston's got a lot of questions. But I thought it was an interesting comment of like, that's a good point, that we kind of are in this era where winning back-to-back is really difficult in the NBA. And frankly, the way the salaries are structured now, I mean, the Celtics are facing the largest tax hit in the history of the league if they keep their current roster as it's constituted, which they're not
There's
going
no
to.
chance they're keeping the current roster. There's no way.
No, Porzingis is gone. Holiday is gone. The only question whether or not they're going to re-sign Luke Cornett, are they going to re-sign Sam Hauser, and then are they going to trade away Jaylen Brown? Like, that's the question of the offseason. Not if this team comes back. It's who is coming back and who is not. Because Al Horford could retire. He's an unrestricted free agent. He could go somewhere to play for a year, or he could, Tatum had a surgery that is experimental, that it's what Rodgers had. It's an experimental surgery on the Achilles that will allow you to come back to full activity in 6 months. Now, will you be in shape? Hell no. Will you be in basketball shape? Absolutely not. But if he came back, say, April 1st of next year, and played all of April to get ready for the playoffs, I mean, there's a halfway decent shot, or like all of March and all half of April. Gets the playoffs start in April, but you go through, let him play all of March and half of April to get ready. I mean, there's a halfway decent shot that you have him for the tournament next year.
Were you surprised how game 6 went?
No, I was disappointed. I wasn't surprised. I thought I'd see a lot more energy and fight out of the Celtics. I thought Joe Mazzulla, for the first time, felt like, I don't know. He had a look in his face like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to overcome this in this environment. We're not hitting shots. We're missing everything. We had one player, Jaylen Brown, who played, and then we found out that Jaylen Brown needs to have surgery. We knew he was playing with a bum knee. Now we know what it is. The meniscus tear in that knee has to be operated on, and he has to recover in the offseason. He'll be fine for next year, but he was playing on an injured knee. And when he was missing shots, once he went cold, he fouled out in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, that's I didn't like the effort. I'll say that.
I was
wasn't
watching
surprised.
it, and I was on with Wetzel, and Wetzel's been adamant that they were going to lose. I mean, he was adamant they were going to lose game 6. He said, I can't believe this line. Odds makers made a mistake. It's too low, blah, 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 blah. Halfway through the second quarter, I said, if they don't make a run to close this gap a little bit,
Dead.
they shouldn't even come out the second half. Like, this is going to be a party.
Yep.
And Knicks fans, it was a party. Everybody was pretty excited.
Way too excited.
Too excited? I mean, they're in the Eastern Conference Finals, Pete Rose. You got to let them be excited, no?
No. Do you hang a banner? I'll ask you this question. If they lose this series, are you hanging a banner?
For what?
Second, exactly. So what did you win? You didn't win anything. For what? Exactly. What are you doing?
You got to be Eastern Conference champs.
You're rioting outside MSG. You're attacking Pacer fans outside of MSG.
There he goes.
Like, what are you doing?
That guy, with the trash can or the trash bags. What was that? Like, what were they doing? They didn't need to do that.
Yeah, they made him famous. And Tyrese Halliburton today on the Pat McAfee show is bringing that guy to Game 4 with him and one of his buddies. He's a firefighter in New York from Indiana. Guy's a firefighter. They're throwing garbage at him because he's wearing a Pacers jersey. Oh no! Outside of MSG.
Oh,
like, what did you guys? Again, 1973. The last time you were in the conference finals was 1999. Like, this is a long, have fun, party, celebrate, but just acknowledge the fact that the city of New York, my entire life, told me that we celebrate championships in New York. We don't celebrate second round championships. We don't celebrate when we just advance in the postseason. Look how far that city has fallen. Look how far it's been. Look how long it's been.
I mean,
since they've won anything of consequence.
Jets, Giants hasn't been the greatest run.
0. Rangers, 0.
Rangers,
Islanders, 0.
Mm-hmm.
You made the World Series last year. What happened? Oh,
Yankees.
You lost.
Right.
Oh,
Mets have been a rough time of it.
It's hard to be a New York sports fan. So what you showed me there is the idea of you've been there or act like you've been there before. You guys haven't been there, I guess, huh? Wow. Your uncles and grandfathers are going, what the hell are you clowns doing?
Oh, boy.
You're embarrassing all of us.
Here he goes.
I mean, every Knick fan that I know, every person that I was going back and forth with, they all were like, what are they doing? Why are they acting like this? Like, this is somebody get a hold of these guys in the building. Okay, have fun. Outside the building, get a hold of yourself. You're in public. You're on a public street, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, once you do it, though, they did beat the champs. So
they beat the champs. Awesome. What does that? I just asked you, are you hanging a banner for beating Boston?
But you can be excited about this.
Nothing.
I mean, let these people be excited.
That's not excited. That's a celebration like you won something. They took over the streets. You couldn't drive. It looked like Philadelphia after they won the Super Bowl. Like that, when you celebrate like that, you've won something. And I just ask you, are you hanging a banner after a second round win?
No, I wouldn't even know what to put up. What would I put on the banner?
Anything.
I wouldn't even know what to put on there.
You didn't. You've won 8 games. Yeah. Awesome. It shows you how bad and how much your team has sucked over the last 25 years.
Right.
You think that accomplishment warrants that celebration.
Yeah.
Great. And now you have to go up against a Pacers team. You got home court. Now everything is set up the way it's supposed to be for the New York Knicks, who, in my mind, could look very much like the Toronto Maple Leafs in this series.
Oh, boy.
Just saying. Indiana wins this series. All that celebration, all that tape of you guys doing that, you're going to look pretty dumb, huh? That's going to look pretty stupid.
4-point spread the first game. 223.5, which just seems high and moving up. Indiana's live, boys and girls. There's no question about it. Now, we'll see. I can't wait. I mean, we got Tuesday, Western Conference starts. Wednesday, Eastern Conference starts. This is going to be fun. This thing here with, the other 3 teams other than the Knicks haven't won a title. I mean, this is great.
Oh,
This is
huge.
this
For
is
business?
going to be
Huge.
fun to watch, and the fan bases. You all should be excited because
Oh yeah,
the
you're
next
all
level,
8 wins from a championship.
Yeah.
You're all just 8 wins away from cutting down the nets and celebrating a monumental moment in your franchise's history.
I mean, the Celtics were minus 800 to
900.
win the series.
900.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're minus
9 to
900
1.
to win that series.
So
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably people that had take back 6 to 1 or take back 5 to 1, and that they were pretty excited.
Yep,
Definitely. My guy that I do cash considerations with, Yanitsi, he had the Knicks every game, money line. He just kept betting them. So he was, he made more money this past week and a half than he did betting basketball all season with the payoffs. So I say let him be excited. But yeah, they were over the top. I mean, but isn't everything over the top in New York? Everything is.
No,
It's a lot.
no, it used to be. It's not anymore.
Oh,
It's like gambling in Vegas. We used to own gambling and nobody else had it, and now we have it, and now it's everywhere, and it's not as nearly as.
oh, you froze. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'm interested in this analogy of gambling in Vegas and what now?
Well, gambling used to be just ours, and now it's everywhere. So,
Oh.
New York used to literally, in a lot of ways, they won everything. They were always competitive. They were always there. They were always having conversations,
This is true.
and they haven't won anything. And sorry, I'm not counting the Liberty. Okay, stop. New York people, stop. Just stop. Please stop. Whenever I say this and you go, well, they won the Liberty last year. What? Please stop it. Right? Just stop it. Don't. It's embarrassing enough that you even are going to mention that. Just don't say that out loud. Like New York Liberty. No, we're not counting that as a major championship in New York. It's like me counting like the Boston Cannons in lacrosse winning championships for Boston. Are you kidding me? Like, come on.
No.
No, we're not counting the Boston Cannon championships they won in the PLX, whatever the hell it is, the league that they played in. But
Does MLS count?
no.
Oh, okay. All right. I just want to make sure. I don't know.
No,
just
we're
making
talking
sure.
the four major sports.
Four majors.
The four majors
Okay.
that we're talking
That's
about.
fine. All right. That's fine.
Hockey, basketball, baseball, football. Those four is what we're talking about. Things that actually draw real ratings and real numbers and real history and real money. So I think
I'm
it's
going to ask the chat a question
okay.
right now. And if you want to put a poll up so we could get a vote.
Sure.
Who's worse, Boston fans or New York fans?
The number is 13, Dave.
I'm just asking.
Number's
a question.
13. 13 championships since the Knicks.
Because
this is the last time New York won anything.
I
Just
understand.
FYI.
It's very
13.
close as far as outside of that pocket.
We are
Who's
Boston
worse
fans right now. I would say Boston fans are worse because we actually have something to celebrate. So we'll throw it in your face because we've actually won.
than-
New York fans, most Yankee fans I know, are tired of this because it's been since 2009. So they're looking for going, wait a minute. I used to not go more than like 4 years for a championship. It's been a long time for the Yankees.
Yeah.
And most likely they're not winning it this year. So it's been a minute for the Yankee fans. So that's been a weird thing for them not to have a championship for a generation.
This is funny. The chat's divided. The first few votes were all Boston. And then we got some new effing York. Neither. It's the Philly fans. Yorkie, follow instructions. It's one or the other. Seth, Philly fans are bad. Yep. Happy to be part of them. Roger Long says New York. The place is so nice. They named it twice. New York fans, Tyrone Boyd. Push, says Onler. Flip a coin, says Jimmy Football. JJ, New York fans are the worst. When we did the live show down at Circa, we asked the waitresses. They said it was Baltimore fans. Remember that?
Yes, one of them did. Yes.
Angie or Sydney or whichever one we did. Roper says it's Boston.
No, it's such a
This is a
bad
real
line.
divide.
Cheating Astros. What are we doing? It's such a cook. I mean, that's so. Yeah. While we run around and wonder about all sorts of Yankee players doing what the Yankees were doing. So the whole idea with baseball cheaters is something. I don't like the Astros by any means, but I'll stand up for Astro fans for a second on that and go, hold on a second. Like,
wait a second.
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So it's a
See,
oh wow, even PB says Boston.
I mean, that's family. That's
Our
family.
Boston
That's
gets it.
family saying family. Yeah, that's fine.
Patriots in Aruba. Are we talking about expats, Butchie, or like Patriot fans? Like which one? Because Patriots, American citizens overseas are called expats.
Oh, but no. Butchie was doing his stint down there at the Book when the Patriots won the Super Bowl.
Ah, okay.
And I can only imagine that had to be terrible.
Oh,
yeah, they were probably
which one though? Which Super Bowl?
The first one.
04? No, sorry, 2001. Wow. Oh, one
Might have been.
Well, it was 01, 03, 04 were the first. That was the first dynasty. So the first one, Tuckerell.
I can only imagine if he was down there.
Oh God, we in that moment. Oh, insufferable. I mean, because that was I remember we were what 13 and a half point dogs in that game.
Oh.
Right to the Rams
Against
the Rams, 13 and a half point dogs.
Yeah.
So winning that game outright, winning the Super Bowl outright. See, that's when you go crazy. When you're 13 and a half point dogs and you win the game outright and you actually win a championship because of it, then you take over your city. Yes. That's when you go crazy. Yeah. That's how you celebrate. That's when it's justified.
That's fair.
When you go
that's
nuts
fair.
On that. Scotty Scheffler dominated another major, winning the PGA by 5 strokes yesterday. Do you like watching domination, or would you rather have a great fun Sunday when it's 1 or 2 strokes coming down the pike?
I appreciated Tiger so much and what he did, and watching him do it, continually do it. I wish I watched golf as much as I did then. Now I don't. But when I watch it and I see Scheffler, I'm good with it. I don't know if it keeps my attention the way it did with Tiger, because I was playing a lot more golf then, and I don't play much golf now at all.
Yeah.
I'm good with it though. Like I mean, when people say, "Oh, it's boring," I mean, maybe it is, but do you think it's boring?
No, but this is what I've heard from a bunch of people, and I think it's a question the PGA Tour is going to have to acknowledge. So when we're playing a major in the month of May, and it's the PGA, which is the 4th of the 4, it has caused people to go, wait, we're playing a major? Like the gambling that we've seen on certain things has really been like, we saw it by a bunch of bookmakers over the weekend with the Preakness. Handle was massively depressed, like down.
Oh, yeah.
Handle for the PGA Championship, massively depressed, down. It's over. Scotty had a big lead going to the weekend. No one thought he would choke. He didn't. I mean, I know it was tied after 9. He had a little bit of a hiccup on the front,
right?
But then he won the thing by 5 strokes. He just went ahead and took care of business, won the thing going away with 11 under, and Harris English coming in second at 6 under. So that was the problem, I think, from a betting perspective, is there wasn't a lot of opportunities to come in and bet it. There wasn't any after the round. You saw a leaderboard that was filled. I mean, Vegas led after the first and the second round. Jonathan Vegas, a guy that nobody knows anything about, led the tournament.
Right.
So this is the issue. The PGA Championship being in May is still not part of the normal sports calendar yet.
It is not. And golf is still disjointed.
Yeah.
You only see certain guys during the majors. Thursday and Friday, that leaderboard was you needed to learn how to pronounce some of the names.
It was bad. It was really bad.
You just went, wow. What do we do with this?
Well, right? Bryson and Rahm, I mean, John Rahm, I had under 70.5 for John Rahm on the 4th round. He was sailing beautifully. All right. Bogey, double, and 5 over the final 3 holes. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, John Rahm. And Bryson also, the Green Mile, they called it at Quail Hollow. Look, if you hate Liv, and there are certain guys on the Golf Channel that really do hate Liv, and they immediately blamed both John Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau's collapses on the fact they play 3 rounds and not 4, and they got tired. I don't think you can generally say that. I thought it was a little bit of an opportunity to hammer LIV again and hammer as you talked about, the disjointed nature of the PGA and professional golf. But I just thought John Rahm just played like crap. I just thought Bryson he was missing putts all week. Bryson was doing what he did.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that surprised that Bryson fell apart. John Rahm falling apart was surprising, but I don't know if I'd blame the LIV Tour for that.
I'm more about trying to figure out how to make it better than trying to assess blame. It's just not what it was. I don't know if it ever will be, and it's not going to be saved because of the betting. It's not. Like,
no, I agree.
You just don't do. Augusta is the best because it's Augusta. It's the Masters, and everyone knows it.
Yeah, we know it. We don't know the
show
scores.
up every year at a different place for this tournament.
Yeah.
In the middle of May, before the U.S. Open, it's just kind of thrown in there. And now I don't even know. Like, is it fixable? Where, you're going to get all of a sudden a big golf handle on the PGA Championship? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think there's going to be, I think everybody who is a golf fan, you follow the PGA Tour, you know who Scottie Scheffler and how good Scottie is. Scottie's 28. Scottie has 3 legs of the career Grand Slam already knocked down. It would be stunning if he did not get. He has to go overseas, Northern Ireland this summer, for him to go win the Open Championship. If he goes and does that and wins the career Grand Slam, maybe we then have more of an appreciation for Scottie. But everyone who plays in the shadow or in the wake of Tiger is going to have a very difficult time, because it was Tiger chasing Jack.
Yep.
Well, if you're chasing Tiger and Jack, which is what Scottie is doing, it's really difficult, I think, to get people's attention and get people excited about the game of golf. On top of the fact that Scottie's just a really nice guy. He's not very interesting. I think he would tell you that. He's a family guy. He's 28 years old. He's from Texas, and he's a hell of a golfer.
Yeah.
I mean, an absolute. Nike may have did the most controversial thing all weekend by putting this ad out afterwards. Best player in the world, guilty. If you guys if you don't know the joke there, that's because at the last PGA Championship in Louisville last year, Scottie Scheffler was taken away in handcuffs by a police officer before he teed off for the first round at the PGA Championship. So Nike comes back with best player in the world, ? Guilty. And he is the best player in the world. There is absolutely no question about
it.
It's
a great shot. It was a great, stunning picture, caption, great.
I thought Scottie won the U.S. Open. I'm wrong. Thank you, Justin. Okay, so he's got two legs of the Triple Crown. Sorry, he's got 3 majors, 2 Triple Crowns. Sorry,
Grand Slam.
Career Grand Slam. So he needs the U.S. Open and the British Open. Okay, and the Open Championship. Okay, so he needs 2 of the 4.
I think just right now, I think golf has a little bit of an identity problem. That was a great,
not little, big.
It's just reality. Like, I'm not trying to besmirch golf. And listen, if anybody wants to sponsor the show, that's a golf company or talks about golf betting, you're more than welcome to. But just reality of it is, the handle used to be high, and the interest used to be high. Multiple golfers feel like you could bet on them and they could win almost any week. This keeps happening, and you go, "Oh, I'm just not going to do it."
We're not going to do it. And I think also people just look at it and get bored by the whole event. It doesn't make you go, "Oh, the PGA." Like that was always the tournament right before football started. Like, you watched the PGA Championship because you knew it was the last time you really watched golf,
right?
Because football was on its way, and golf hated that because the golf wanted you to watch the FedEx Championship. They wanted the playoffs to be something.
Yeah.
So now they've moved the PGA away from the FedEx Cup and moved it to May. So now we have 4 majors After we get to July, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
We have April, May, June, July. 1 month, one major, 4 months, and then we get to August 1st, and we're done for majors, and we have the FedEx Cup, and that's it. And I still think that schedule is difficult for people to get used to. They aren't used to this. I was speaking of the Open Championship. How about our guy?
Look at this.
Look at our guy, the Shrew.
The Shrew.
I'm going to mimic this
bridge.
picture in August. I'm going to mimic this picture. I'm going to be where he is standing. I'm going to be there at St. Andrews in August. And I'm going to go and take the same picture. Same hand signal. I'm going to literally take the exact same picture and send it to him.
Yeah, he's holding the BvB hat.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's on the
we
bridge.
made it to England.
No, that's Scotland.
I mean, Scotland.
Yeah.
We made it.
That's St. Andrews. That's the walk. That's the 18. That's the drive over the top of that. Cut the corner. That's the clubhouse in the background.
That's awesome.
How about the Shrew? That's so cool.
That's just fantastic. Yeah.
Where in the world is the BvB hat? Didn't think it'd make it there.
No,
That's
definitely
cool.
not. No.
So,
Yeah, that was fun to see. That was over the weekend. He sent us that picture. That was good. If you guys again do that, try to put those up. Man, I would love to come to Oakmont. WV Punch Drunk One.
On
I would
Friday?
love to come to Oakmont for the U.S. Open. I have only been to Oakmont once. Covered a Family House Invitational there years ago. Never played it, but have seen it. Driven by it. Have friends that live right by it, and been invited. I don't think I'm going to make it this year, but I
to
would
go
love
or play?
No, just go to the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need to play Oakmont. No, my game is not ready. I don't. Listen, I love playing golf, but I love being competitive. When I was playing golf a lot, competitive and could play, I would have said, "Yeah, let's go play." I'd be happy to shoot 90, or 100, and be okay with it. Now I might shoot 180.
You still say you played Oakmont though.
Nah,
Still say you played it, even though you shot poorly.
No.
We're not going to spend a ton of time on this topic, but it's everywhere. And so you mentioned the WNBA earlier. I did, I guess. Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark came back. I put something on my Twitter account that I think everyone needs to go and watch. It's a video of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird shooting a Converse commercial. I've heard this for I don't know how many months now, the comparison between Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, that this is the modern era version of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. The difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese hate each other. Like full-blown hate each other. Because the foul that Caitlin Clark gave to Angel Reese over the weekend was a hard take foul. That was a little bit extra. We'd agree, right? A little extra?
I guess.
A little extra? Nothing dangerous. Nothing.
Did you see the shove before that, though?
Yes, I did. It was a little extra. I'm not saying she was in the wrong. I'm not saying Caitlin Clark even deserved to have it upgraded to a flagrant foul. I don't think it was a flagrant foul. It was a hard take foul. I think her explanation of what the foul was accurate. It was a hard take foul.
Yes.
But when your arch enemy does that to you, you do what Angel Reese did. You freak the hell out. And you call her effing crazy. You need to be held back. You untuck your shirt. You're going to get after it like you're going to go throw. Magic and Larry never did that.
It's a different time, P-Roll.
But they respected
everything was
each
different.
other.
Well,
listen, each other.
There was a lot of that in sports. There's a lot of things that are going on in sports, in all sports, that aren't like they used to be. And you guys can call us old heads or not.
Right.
But there was a mutual respect that is gone in a lot of ways in a lot of sports. I mean, the way some guys, they hit a home run in freaking May, and it looks like it's a Game 7 World Series home run. They get the 25 seconds to get around the bases with two pauses, one to shoot a jump shot and one to do some dance around third. Yep. I don't understand it. I mean, hitting the home run used to be enough.
Yep.
Embarrassing everybody now on top of it is part of the game. I love the emotion in the game, but it can't do it every day. Like, I want you to celebrate. And I used to tell the kids that when we coached them.
Right.
You can celebrate your accomplishment. Just know that if the other team does it, you can't get mad. So do something that you're going to like or we're going to be proud of or you're going to be proud of. Just so when they do it back, because they're going to do it back, at some point, You're going to be on the other side of this. Can't say nothing. Can't say a word.
JY said this to us on this show, and he said it to me on Sports Grid about the racial component is never going to go away between these two. And Angel Reese will forever be linked to Caitlin Clark because of the pointing at the ring finger ceremony and the fact that they both were rookies and they both were drafted high coming into the league. Caitlin Clark wins Rookie of the Year. Caitlin Clark goes and has a triple-double. And frankly, Caitlin Clark's team is way better than Chicago. Chicago's bad. Indiana's going to be a team worth talking about throughout the entire summer for the WNBA.
No doubt.
And Caitlin Clark will be an MVP conversation. I mean, a triple-double in the opening game for a second-year player is incredible for what she's capable and what she accomplished, and her ability to pass the basketball is, she can hit shots from all over the court, but her ability to see the court is equally impressive for Caitlin Clark. And Angel Reese is a dynamic rebounder, Dennis Rodman type, but not someone who's going to do what Caitlin Clark will do to influence a basketball game and be that type of player on the court. Yet, these two are tied together, and not because Caitlin wants to be. And Angel Reese has done so many things, in my opinion, to have it be talked about off the court. Like on the court stuff, we're not talking so much about Angel Reese the way we're talking about Caitlin Clark. It's the off the court stuff we're talking about Angel Reese for behavior and what she has done. And so, I really wonder what happens next here, because they could really do a lot of cool things together, like Magic and Bird did. They both realized, hey, we'll do McDonald's commercials together. We'll do Converse commercials together.
They didn't right away. I mean, they have to.
No, they did. Coming out of college, they were doing together.
Well,
they
did
came
it
in the
in
league.
college, and then when they got into the league, it wasn't. They weren't doing those Converse commercials and stuff, or the or the McDonald's commercials and all that other stuff until about 5 years in. Like it wasn't right away.
They were tied to each other and they were respectful. I mean, there are videos of these guys laughing it up and talking to each other as, guys entering the NBA.
They were two unique individuals. I mean, think about it. Because, there was Isaiah hated Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
There was rivals that just hated each other, as well.
Well, I think Magic Johnson deserves a lot of credit because Magic took a lot of the issues because he was the African-American player he was the Angel Reese side of things, right? And Magic was so gregarious. His smile was so electric. He was such a guy that let things roll off his back and didn't make a big deal of anything. Like Magic's personality is what I think caused the lack of rivalry and the lack of this going on. And Angel Reese is the opposite with this.
But he won too. Magic won, and he was one of the best players in the game.
True.
I don't want to say there's imposter syndrome going on, but everybody can't wait to say that, Angel Reese can't play.
Right. She can play. She just isn't. She's not Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. Well,
she's not on the same level of what Caitlin Clark's going to be able to do in her career as a basketball player.
Right.
In college Caitlin set the scoring record. Angel Reese won a championship. Caitlin never did. So she's got that. And if I'm a betting person, and we are, I'm going to bet that Caitlin Clark wins a championship before Angel Reese does. So, just looking at their path and where they're going, the odds right now will tell you that there's 4 teams in the WNBA that are going to be good. Chicago is not one of them. So, looking at the 4 potential teams, it's Vegas, New York, Minnesota, Indiana. Those are your 4 teams right now, according to the odds, that will win the WNBA championship. Everybody else is kind of out of the conversation,
right?
And not having it. So it's good for the league because people are talking about it. We're talking about it. I enjoy betting the WNBA. I haven't done much of it yet because I want to see it play out before I get involved and start betting it. But it's a fun thing to talk about, fun thing to bet throughout the summer. And the Sparks and Casey Plum, she's been unbelievable through 2 games. Absolutely. She's traded to the Sparks, and she's been huge for them, and she's a gigantic piece of that puzzle. I don't think LA is going to be there long term, but Kelsey Plum's been off to a very good start through 2 games for the LA Sparks, and that's good. I mean, there's a lot of money right now in women's sports. You would know this. I mean, people are talking about the loss over the weekend for Texas A&M in women's softball, Dave. They became the first team ever to lose, number 1 team ever to lose a regional.
It was unbelievable. I mean, it was unbelievable. Liberty wins that. I don't know. the conversations are good. People that just dismiss it because it's not what they're used to,
Right.
or not, their sport that they follow, you got to give it a chance. I think you can find something there, whether it's a WNBA. I know I found it with softball because the kids were into it and we were playing it, but it is just wonderful to watch. Like, it is really fun to watch. There's going to be some unbelievable super regionals this weekend for the softball. I mean, late night Oregon and Stanford was on a walk-off. I actually fell asleep. I woke up after the fact, and the girls told me, Daddy, Oregon walked it off. Couldn't believe it. There's Justin saying it right there. Yeah. So, no, the softball was great. I couldn't find any books with numbers on it this year.
Well,
I was a little bummed out.
I think hopefully in the future that will happen. I mean,
they had it the last few years. I had tickets on Oklahoma and a couple other teams to win it, hoping that Oklahoma didn't. But, yeah, there were a lot of upsets. This is fun. And you mentioned it. It's not just one team in the WNBA. There's multiple teams.
Oh, yeah.
So
there's 14. I mean, 4 or 5. I mean, I think we're for a really fun summer. I think it's going to be.
Yeah. I
mean, here in town, we'll have to see what the new look Aces look like. They got smoked by the Liberty in their opener on the road.
Yeah.
And I was on Sports Grid with Ranieri, and we both jumped in at 10.5 and lost the game by, I think, 12 or 14, which was stunning. It was like, come on, they're not going to lose the game by that many. And they did.
Right.
They cut it down to 3. And then they never got closer, and New York just kept on hitting big shots, and it was a huge crowd. It was a banner night celebration for New York, and oftentimes it's a good fade to fade the team on a banner night, but New York looked great. Vegas will be better at home, but they've got some questions with their team and some health issues as well. So, but New York is still going to be really good. Minnesota is missing 2 players right now, 2 of their best players, because they have to be indoctrinated back into the WNBA because they played in a foreign league leading into the season. So they want to make sure that they're not over exerting themselves. So they're being on a forced rest to play. So they'll play in a couple of games, and Minnesota will be at full strength. They're going to be a really good team to watch. So it's going to be fun to watch the W this year. There's going to be betting opportunities. There's going to be a lot of cool things and storylines aside from Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
Daily Picks just came in and said the Liberty may only lose 2 games. Wow. Really?
42-40, 42-2.
That's pretty impressive.
They play 44 games, right?
44 games, yeah. Wow.
So 42-2. Come on, not going 42-2, but still, I mean, they're going to be Liberty. Going to be really good. They're going to be really good. One quick baseball one that I think this is wild. So the Mariners in spring training agreed with the Padres to play in their series called the Vetter Cup for Eddie Vedder.
Okay.
Who is from San Diego and obviously became famous with Pearl Jam in the city of Seattle. Mariners won in lopsided fashion.
They swept them.
I love this idea.
Yeah.
I think this is an awesome idea for teams inside of series, because you play so many baseball series all year. You play 162 games. Let's do something unique. Let's do something fun, like the NBA did the in-season tournament. Like, we don't need to do that with baseball. But if we have a chance to have like a little bit of a rivalry thing going on when the teams play.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this until they started playing over the weekend. I was like, what are they playing for?
Yeah.
They're playing for the Vetter Cup. I was like, Eddie Vedder? Eddie Vedder. Oh,
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
We need more of this.
It's fun because it's not the interdivision rival. So it's something unique. Or it's the city, team rivalry or something, come up with, whatever you want to call it. The state rival for a lot of teams, Houston played Texas, Pittsburgh played Philadelphia.
Right.
I'm in favor of it. Anything that I don't want to say adds to
interest.
Yeah, just interest. That's fine.
Interest.
It doesn't have to add anything more than that.
No, you can bet it. You can put betting numbers up if you want, or add different unique twists if you want. But because I was trying to think, like, for the Red Sox who played the Braves, like, who the hell cares? Like, that was not a rivalry series. I mean, the Boston Braves were once, a thing, and they moved to Atlanta, and they became the Atlanta Braves. And, that's why the Boston-Atlanta series is happening. But I was like, I don't know enough about all the different artists, but, like, if you could find a way to have like the Sweet Caroline Cup or something, and like there's no team in Charlotte, but if there was, like trying to have that type, like what other musical things could you create? Like, who's the most famous band from Pittsburgh? Is there one, chat? Is there a band?
I don't know. A
This is where you need the
band?
chat's
I mean,
help.
there's a couple rappers that like
Okay.
Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller. They're doing
Okay, so
doing
Mac Miller.
bobblehead
So
nights,
did
right?
Mac Miller get popular? You could have the Mac Miller. You got to find what other city, if he had a history or where he moved to. The Kanye Cup in Chicago. Don't mind that, but Kanye's history makes that impossible. So you can't honor Kanye West, given that guy at the moment.
Nope.
That doesn't
I don't think
really
that one's gonna fly.
given his
Don't think
comments
so.
publicly. Don't think that's gonna hit, but like just something like that. I was trying to, in my brain, I couldn't come up with anything. I was like, what could I come up with that would be similar to this? But I think more teams to try to find unique ways to play a 3-game or a 6-game or whatever the set is,
Yeah.
to get people excited about the baseball series in a different way versus like, hey, come get a bobblehead of Shohei Ohtani. Like, oh, okay. Like, try to have something that's going to make it more exciting and more interesting,
Right.
than just call it the Subway Series or the Freeway Series.
I like these things. I like when baseball does these little,
Yeah.
you know, they called it rivalry weekend. Some people were like, it's not rivalry unless, so-and-so is playing so-and-so. They're not rivals. Relax.
There are
Semantics.
some. I mean, Mets Yankees is a rivalry. It's intercity. Cubs White Sox is a rivalry. I mean, the Angels almost swept the Dodgers. Like, so like,
Oh, they did, didn't they?
They won
all
yesterday?
three. Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't think Dodgers would lose yesterday. They lost
Yeah.
yesterday. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, I didn't think that would happen all year. The Dodgers would lose all 3 games.
Three in a row.
So
Big prices too.
Pirates and the White Sox, the winner gets a number 1 pick.
Not right now, please.
How about regulation? The loser gets regulated. To AAA.
Relegated. Not regulated.
Regulated.
Relegated. There you go.
Regulated.
Yeah. No, not regulated. That's what they're trying to do with prediction markets. Different story.
Different stories. Well, this is a story that we call the news of the industry. If you are in the Missouri area, we have a start date for you guys. We haven't had one in like 2 years.
Yep.
Where a new state signs on. Missouri, December the 1st, they're going to sign on. Now, Missouri obviously has a major market in St. Louis. It also has half of Kansas City, which is big, and a college town in Columbia. Do you think books want to or will be excited to open in Missouri?
Yes, they haven't for a while. I would think Missouri will provide a good amount of liquidity to whatever companies are there, and then it will do what all the other stuff did. Like it will have a certain, and then it'll settle, and then it'll be like, wait a second, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, I wonder, because of the location of Missouri, I wonder, there are a lot of states that are bordering Missouri that have legalized sports gambling already, Kansas being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That I wonder how many people who already are in the marketplace, realizing there's going to be all these different offers in the beginning, that they can now take advantage of by simply jumping over the border and signing up in Missouri.
Yep.
So I wonder how much. I think there could be like a really big pop in the first couple of months, and then a big cliff, and just like a zoom fall off.
Yeah.
After the first quarter.
What's happened in the business, and we got friends that write about this all the time on different sites. I mean, the initial pop from the promotions inflates numbers.
Yeah.
And then everybody goes, oh, wait, what are we doing here? What are we doing? And it takes away from the states like Kansas, where their handle will drop a little bit. Sonic, good statement there. Yeah, Ozark tourism too. So people that will go there will be able to do what they normally do if they want to go on sports weekends and watch games and different things. So that's good. I still think at some point, like, Vegas isn't going to do it, but like if they could come here and just, transfer the money from their other accounts seamlessly right into the Nevada part of it.
Well, now if you have BetMGM and Caesars, it's all the same wallet.
Right. So
So
you
there's
can do that. Yes.
certain books that already
certain apps you can.
Yeah.
So yeah, this will be good. I mean, this is going to be it for a while, though.
Yeah, it looks
This
like
is going to be it for a while. Everyone that's had a run of talking about this, and legalizing it, it's not happening. It's like all the other states. This is the one that actually got approved and then got to a date where they're going to be okay with it.
right.
You know? So that's good. December 1st is fine.
States that touch Missouri that have legalized sports gambling. To the north is Iowa. To the east is Illinois. To the southeast is Kentucky. Below that, to the southeast is Tennessee. To the south is Arkansas. To the west is Kansas. So they were almost completely surrounded by states that were legal. And they were the one kind of, they were the donut hole without sports betting. So now I'll be very curious how many people are just going to jump into the state to gamble if there's offers or if there's better books, different opportunities to come on in the city of Missouri, just given how surrounded they are by legalized sports betting states.
I see St. Louis Ray in the chat. Good to see you here, sir. There's no money for the sports books. The casinos have cleaned out most players. Well, we'll find out.
Right.
Handle will be up at least at the beginning. God bless, by the way. St. Louis Ray tagged us in a picture. Did you see that with his daughter's house?
Yeah.
He avoided it with that
tree
hurricane and all that stuff, but his daughter's house got whacked by his tree.
It stinks.
I couldn't imagine.
Tornadoes are the worst. I mean, hurricanes are bad.
Lord.
Hurricanes are bad, but hurricanes are predictable. Like, when the hurricane is coming and you can make arrangements to protect your property. A tornado is 1 minute your stuff is there and the next minute it's gone. And then your neighbor's house could be perfect and your house is gone. Like it's really hard.
That picture shook me up, man. I was like, man, I can't imagine.
It stinks.
If my daughters don't live here, getting a call, it's going, hey.
Stop it, Butchie.
Oh, that's what credit cards are for.
Stop it, Butchie. That's not funny.
Some people do that. No, getting a call and say, hey, Daddy, can you come over? And there's a tree just laying across my roof.
My house is a convertible now. Come help me.
Oh.
Time now for Better or Book. And we start with the KC baseball team, not in Missouri, but the team to the west of Missouri, although technically there are some fans of the Royals in Missouri. Team total, Royals. Last 17 games, it's 13-4 to the under. We're just going to keep on riding this. Team total under 3.5 for the Royals today at -115.
13-4 over the last 17?
Correct.
It's only -115?
It's now up to -140.
I liked 115 better, but
That's what I got.
It's still a bet.
That's what I got last night.
And Ray has been pitching pretty decent. San Francisco.
Decent. They haven't lost yet.
I was just going to say, this was going to be one of my better bookets. I was going to say San Francisco money line.
Hold on. You're not reading the rundown.
I didn't think you used this part of that.
Literally the next game. It's literally the next game.
All right.
Yes.
So bet it.
Royals team total under 3.5. Ray has not lost yet, like you mentioned. Now, Bubik's going for the Royals. Like, they got a good guy going on the mound. But under Robbie Ray for the Giants is undefeated. The team is undefeated in games he has started.
Right.
Giants money line -118.
Yeah, that's a bet.
Yeah.
I think that's a bet. And you can probably put it with Seattle. I'm wearing the Seattle stuff.
Okay.
Seattle's beating the White Sox. No.
Yes.
I would think that would be a parlay piece.
I've been doing these YOLO parlays for the last couple of days in baseball. And they've been hitting kind of at a ridiculous clip. So for today, that I'm playing a Cubs, Mariners, Phillies, Twins.
Cubs against Miami, Mariners against the White Sox. Who else?
Cubs, Mariners, Phillies, Twins.
Phillies against the Rockies. That's got to be good. And Twins. Ooh.
They've won 13 straight.
I lost yesterday.
They lost
Milwaukee, Milwaukee beat them yesterday.
even better. Let's go with that.
So they bounced back today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Twins are minus
against
131.
Okay. What's that parlay pay?
5-1.
That ain't bad. Wow.
Yeah. You want that? It's 5-1.
Okay. This is a bet too. I think the Giants win.
Yep.
Giants and under. I mean, the game's going under.
Yeah, oh yeah, because the Royals can't score to save their lives.
Yeah,
So,
I think the game goes under.
yeah, it's probably 2-1. It's probably 2-1 final for the Giants. Like just complete dead. I'm really sorry, but I got to do this to your team because you lost on Skeens Day. I'm taking the Reds money line. I like Lodolo a lot. Your guy, Mitch Keller at home, stinks. He's 0-3 with an ERA of 5.3.
I don't get it.
He stinks at home.
The line's coming down. They're betting the Pirates again. They bet the Pirates yesterday. The Pirates were favored yesterday. Now, Skeen's got a complete game. 8 innings is a complete game when the home team doesn't hit.
Right.
Gave up 1 run and lost. 23 consecutive games. The Pirates have scored 4 runs or less.
Yeah, them and the Royals are the 2 worst offenses in baseball. 23
straight. The last time somebody got 24 was 1971, the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah.
Okay.
Got a couple notes this morning from MLB Network. My guy's doing an unbelievable job telling me this stuff, and I just regurgitate it. I sound like really smart, but I pay attention and read the notes. How in the hell are the Pirates going to win today?
Because they can't score. Lodolo has lost 3 in a row and 4 or 5. The team has lost on games he's pitched. He is 3-4 with a 3.42 ERA. I'm not saying he's been great, but the bullpen's been bad. It hasn't been his fault. He's been halfway decent. Reds bullpen is a disaster, but your team can't score. So I'll trust the Reds bullpen not to get hit, not to get lit up. And Lodolo, you can do first 5 if you want to go that way, but we're going to go Reds money line.
Okay.
Yeah, better to book it.
That's a bet again.
And then I am going against, and maybe it's dangerous, but I think someone's due to get hit here for the Mets. And I know Senga's been awesome. 4-2 with a 1.02 ERA. Hunter Dobbins going for the Red Sox, rookie. Mets score 5.2 runs a game on the road. Red Sox score about 5 runs a game at home.
Yeah.
Average game goes over. Red Sox Mets over 9.
I actually like Senga to shut them down.
Okay.
So I'll say this
by themselves yesterday.
I know. This is a problem. The Mets team total over.
Okay.
Could go over today. Is this the fade on the team that played the Sunday night baseball game too? Like you're supposed to fade the Mets?
And they lost to the Yankees last night. Yep.
Yeah. I think the game goes under.
Okay.
So I'll say this is a book it. And I think Senga pitches well. What happens after he pitches well, I don't know.
Devers grand slam yesterday. Nuclear hot at the moment for the Red Sox. He's really the only one. He's really the only one that's that hot for the Red Sox. So you want to have him RBI or over total bases for Devers. Probably not a bad bet here on this, but Red Sox need to start winning desperately, like desperately.
3 games under 500, P-Roll.
Yeah, not just that, though. It's that the bullpen is getting taxed because the starting pitchers keep on getting worked.
Right.
So Alex Cora had to come out yesterday and tell the starters, it's on you guys. Like, stop it. You guys need to start pitching better. Bayo got ripped yesterday by the Braves. It was not good. Not good at all. Gave up runs early and often. And they were into the bullpen early. I mean, they had a 4-3 lead at one point, and the bullpen gave up 7 runs. Grand slam, and they didn't score again after the grand slam by Devers. So
the Mets have scored just 7 runs in their last 4 games.
They are due.
Keep that in mind. 4 for 29 with runners in scoring position in that span.
And Hunter Dobbins is okay. He's not Garrett Crochet. I'll say that. Okay. He is a youngster.
I have one for you that I have to ask you.
Yep.
Baltimore at Milwaukee. Who in the hell
both
would
suck.
want to touch this game, right?
The Brewers scored for the first time yesterday in 4 games. They've been shut out 3 straight days. They finally scored yesterday. But after firing the manager over the weekend, all the Orioles did was just lay down to the Nationals and get their asses kicked. So the Orioles are the worst team in the AL East by a ways right now. I want nothing to do with the Orioles.
Okay.
Give me the Brewers.
All right. I was going to say Baltimore is looking to avoid losing 7 straight for the first time since 2021. Where's my Quinn Priester stat? 0-2 with a 6.17 ERA in his last 5 appearances. All 5 of those games have been Brewers losses.
Brewers suck. I wouldn't sit on a table for the
Baltimore Orioles. Better to book it. I'm taking the Orioles. You're saying better to book it.
I'll book it, but
right.
I don't like it. Just the
for
Orioles.
all those guys that they're doing shows now that are doing tail or fade.
Yeah,
we really appreciate you guys. You're doing a good job with that. That's the same thing as better to book it. We've been doing it longer. Listen, I love it. More people do it. I'm going to start calling this segment tail or fade just because maybe it'll get us caught up in the algorithm. You can tail me or fade P-Rolt. You can fade me or tail P-Rolt. But that game is a perfect example of a betting-only baseball game.
Oh, my God.
It should be the lowest handle,
maybe
of the day.
Lowest audience of the day, too.
And Baltimore's going to win. There you go.
My. Okay. BvB, prop of the day. All right, we're going to stay in the National League, and we're going to talk about Pete Crow-Armstrong, who opened the game yesterday with a triple. This kid, he might be getting some MVP consideration with the way the Cubs are playing at the moment. I mean, he is. MVP. He's batting .290 with 12 home runs and 38 RBIs. Okay. He's on a baseball team that's 28-19. They're 13-9 on the road, and they're facing Edward Cabrera. We're going over or 1 RBI for Pete Crow-Armstrong today at plus 155. Drive in a run today.
Oh, this is good. I just pulled this up from MLB. He's been in a leadoff spot in 7 of the team's last 8 games. He's 12 for 29 with 6 extra base hits, 3 homers, 11 ribbies as a leadoff hitter this season. I think this is a bet.
He's hot as hell, and the Marlins can't pitch. So give me.
You just have to get an opportunity to come up with a guy on base
or hit a home run. Or hit a home run.
Yeah, that's true.
Drive yourself in.
That's true.
Just drive yourself in. And it can be a bet. Yeah. I want a home run for him. You can do that. I think the Cubs, their offense is really good. And the Marlins stink.
Cubs are real. Yeah. Always sprinkle on Crow.
Home run.
Ian lights out. Okay.
Well, I'll take the RBI for the moment. Sacrifice fly, drive in a run, home run. Cashes all of it for us when it comes in on that. So Pete Crow-Armstrong has had a very, very nice season. A first in Ohtani watch. I mean, we've done this a lot now. This is our 3rd year for Ohtani watch. Saturday night, this is something else. Have you ever seen an intentional balk?
No.
Because that happened on Saturday night where Kenley Jansen decided that Ohtani on second base was too scary because they were up 11-9 in the 9th inning, and he'd rather have him on third base than second base because he had pitched so long with the Dodgers, he thought that Ohtani was going to tell Mookie Betts what he was throwing. So he intentionally balked him to third. The hell is that?
Never seen that before. But I'll tell you what, though, I like it because if the way the guys are now, if they have any bit of knowledge prior, and the way that you can study the way catchers give signals and different pitchers line up things, if you can give the batter a little bit of a, fastball, pull in your shirt, it's a breaking ball, something indicator.
Yeah.
Put him on third base and let him guess too. I'm good with that. I never saw it before, ever. You put it on a rundown. I was like, oh, that's good. I remember, Saturday seeing it and going, what is that? But it's not a bad way. I've heard everything too, T. Boyd.
He was asked, Kenley Jansen was asked after the game, did you intentionally balk? He said, go back and read my lips. I told the umpire, yes, he intentionally did it. I want him on third base. Put him on third base. Put Ohtani on third base. Wait, what? So I guess him and Mookie have some secret thing going back and forth about location to be able to signal to him. And Jensen was like, I pitched long enough. I know what these guys do. So he had some inside information. He spent 12 years with the Dodgers. So he would know that the Dodgers have some system in place for location saying, I don't want you on second base. I don't want you behind me. Go to third.
I love it.
Very interesting.
I love it.
It does make sense. We stop and think about it. When you're up by 2 runs, now
Right.
up by 1 run, different story.
No, of course not. Yeah. No, I don't think you can. But as a coach, would I order that? I don't think it's a bad idea. I really don't. Up 2?
I don't know the answer to this.
No.
Are you allowed to decline a balk?
No. Yeah,
You cannot decline it.
No. No, please don't start with the
I kind of like that rule, Bo.
decline.
I like that. You can
penalty
decline
in
a
baseball.
balk. I like that.
No, please.
This
we
became.
don't
Well,
need that.
why should you be able to intentionally break the rules?
You balked. You didn't break the rule. You balked.
That's breaking the rules. A balk is against the rules. It's you award
Sounds
a
like
base.
violation.
It's a violation, but you award the base for the violation. I should be able to decline that and say, no, I'll stay right here. Thank you very much. I'm not going to the third base. Just run backwards. Could you imagine if you run that way?
No.
That'd be great. You'd be like, wait, I'm going to steal second. Wait, you're on third base. I know. I'm going to steal second. That would be neat. That would be a very.
I think technically you could do that.
No, you can't run backwards. No, that's against the rules. Can't run backwards.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Can you run backwards? No, you can run backwards because if a guy catches you have to re-tag. So if you ran from first to third, but the ball was caught, you got to run backwards and run back to first base.
I don't think you can, once you establish you're on third base, I don't think you can go reestablish yourself on second. Now we're getting silly.
It's awesome. Please. I love this. Is why baseball is fun, though, because you really this is in the weeds of the rule book. This is where I need a Major League Baseball umpire to come on in.
Somebody Google it.
Umpside view when I was in Des Moines. For you Des Moines people, that's where
JC from KC, you should be able to decline a hit by pitch. I actually have seen that on lower level softball. Where
declining a hit by pitch.
Well, the ump kind of says you didn't move out of the way. You ain't taking a base.
Okay, but what happens?
You gotta stay here.
If I was thrown out intentionally and I don't want to go to first base, I want to bat. I like that idea. Save this crap for the bananas. It's not crap. It's interesting. That's deep into. I like that. That's deep into the rule book as to what actually is allowed and what you can what you're allowed to do. I think that's really interesting to see how that's going to happen. But
I don't want to see declining and accepting of any penalties other than in the NFL. I don't need to see that in baseball, please. I saw at the Aviators game yesterday, and again, we get to that. My favorite thing about today, because I did go for a little bit in the afternoon, and I got to say, the challenge system is perfect.
Yeah, you're in love with that.
If it's not used in Major League Baseball soon, I have no idea what they're doing
next year.
Because the guy I was with never saw it,
right?
And he went, "That took 5 seconds." The umpire embraced it. The catcher caught a ball, and he called it a ball. And the catcher tapped his helmet, said challenge. He took his mask off, turned to the crowd, and said, "The pitch was called a ball. The catcher's challenging." They put it up on the screen. In 5 seconds, it touched the corner. He said the call was overturned. It was a strike. Put his mask on, went right back to the next pitch. It was awesome. I'm like, what? And my buddy said, "Why are they not doing this in the big leagues?" I said, "I have no idea."
Because they wanted a year of data before they did it.
It's working.
Yeah. So it's going to happen next year. It's coming to Major League Baseball. It'll happen. And it will be an adjustment next year for sure. Betting wise, too, it'll be an adjustment as well. But it'll happen next year. Watch the speakers, boys and girls. Oxy NFL story of the day. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow, if you are an Eagle fan, it is a big day. Eagles are calling people. They're lobbying like it's a political campaign. Tomorrow's the vote as to whether or not the Tush Push gets voted out or is it voted to be kept in. Washington linebacker Frank Louvu, was on TV today on the NFL Network, and he wants it banned. He said it's an unfair play.
Oh.
Keep the push is coming. I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be very angry tomorrow because I think it's going to get voted out. They've waited.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think it's going to get voted out tomorrow. I think there's enough stuff that's going on with this.
Enough steam behind this that it's actually going to happen.
I think the commissioner wants it because he has said enough times about he could have shot this down pretty easily at the draft, at the Super Bowl. He could have, in every time he's been pretty obviously, telegraphing that there are a lot of people that do think this play is not a real football play and it needs to be looked at for the health and safety of our players. That's their cover. Their cover story is whether or not health and safety comes into play. I'll go back to the thing we talked about this previously. I don't mind the tush push being a reality as long as defensive players are allowed to do the same thing.
Right.
So and that was from Ted Johnson, who was a former Patriot who was in the media in Boston, had that idea. And I think that's the best solution I have heard, is saying if the offensive player can push a player by grabbing them from behind and pushing them, like the tush push, you should be able to do that as a defender as well to match that. And then, because that would make it a true rugby play, which is why the defenders can't do that.
Right.
So if you're going to claim, well, it's a football play, okay, we'll let the defense do the same thing then.
Yeah. Guys, put it in the chat. We're almost done with the show, so we're not going to put up a poll. But do you guys think this is voted on? Is the tush push in or out after tomorrow?
It's pushing. The tush push is from the line of scrimmage. That's what they're talking about. Pushing any runner anywhere should also be outlawed, but they haven't outlawed that. I'll be curious to see if they do, what the language is, because I don't think you should be able to pull a guy forward or push a guy forward. I don't think that's football. Like, if I'm running down the field and I get stood up by a defender, I shouldn't be able to have like a 400-pound offensive lineman run behind me and be able to push me and drive me over the first down marker.
Right.
See, there's a lot of people who want it gone.
Out. Jimmy football gone, hopefully. CBW ban pushing any runner. PB out. Tyrone Boyd, TP is out after Tuesday.
I don't think that's true, Yorkie. Other teams do it all the time. The Ravens do it. Other teams do it. It's not just the Eagles made it an art.
Eagles perfected it.
Yeah, the Eagles made it an art. So it's their play because of the offensive line that they have and the quarterback that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a quarterback who can squat 400 pounds.
Yep.
They've got the perfect guy. That's not what Lamar Jackson is. So Jalen Hurts is the perfect quarterback to execute it and make it perfect. Again, I'm not trying to limit what the Eagles do. I'm trying to make it more fair for the defense. And I think if the offense can do it, the defense has to be able to do it too. But that's not what's on the table here. It's not to make it more of a play. It's to take it away, what they're voting on Tuesday. And there's been multiple teams. And the Eagles must feel like it's in jeopardy because they would not be calling around and then telling the media that they are doing it, that they are calling around.
Right.
If they didn't fear that they don't have the votes tomorrow, that 2/3 will vote against it and it will go down.
Oh, that was way more time than I even wanted to devote to that. We'll see.
I think it's an interesting conversation. Because it's a scoring play.
Without a doubt. It's
drives.
Also a first down conversion play. Like, will there be a first down or a fourth down? Yes or no?
Conversion, right.
When the Eagles play, the number's different than everybody else.
Right.
You know, like there's things I know inherently that have to change if this is voted out, that I think, even number of first downs, different things that happen throughout the game. Yeah, because
longer drives. I think the Eagles, with time of possession, the way that they play, they have the best running back in the game. They have the best offensive line in the game. They just gave Nick Sirianni an extension. They locked him down for multiple years today. So, you can see what this Eagles team is doing. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be a relevant franchise for the next couple of years minimum.
Right.
And so I think that the league is looking around going, well, if we can't stop this, we got a problem. So either we change the defensive rules or the offensive rules, and it feels like it's easier and Green Bay is the one that put this up. Remember, it's not like it's Washington or Dallas or whatever. It's the Packers who put this up and said, we want this to be voted out. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But if I was a betting person, I would say the league's going to vote it out tomorrow, just given the way the Eagles are reacting to all this and how they're pushing it out, saying, hey, we're nervous about this. If you guys are watching live, don't move. We'll do bonus time with our favorite thing about today. Take some questions if you guys have them as well. But if you guys are on the replay crew, thank you for being here. Another new show happens tomorrow. Best of will be on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. For us, for the rest of you right now, you get bonus time. Yeah, I think Josie Myers, this is pretty much what everyone says it is, right? It's a rugby scrum, not real football. I don't know. I like that argument a bit more than the player safety angle that the commissioner keeps on running with. Mm-hmm. I kind of have a harder time with like player safety. Like that's what we're doing, but we'll follow the vote for you guys tomorrow. See what happens.
Yep.
Favorite thing about today. Favorite thing about today is what, Dave?
Tremendous day yesterday was my favorite thing about today. Went to volleyball practice with Kendall and Jessica and had a dear friend, Brooklyn Joe, stop by and hang out, talked for an hour. It was awesome. And then from there, got a text that a guy that I know and you know as well, Double K, had a ticket to go to the Aviators game. He said, we're sitting 5 rows, 6 rows behind home plate, whatever. Do you want to come? And I wasn't going to do it. And then I was like, you know what? I need to get out and go do it. That's fine. I don't think the basketball game is going to be, real concerning and interesting. And it turned out that decision was right.
Yeah.
So went and watched the Aviators score. They're in first place, by the way, in their league. They scored a zillion runs. The total in the game pregame was 14.5 and went to 16.5. And the final was 14-4. So we paid for the tickets with the plays.
There we go.
Stuff. So that was good. And then from there, I went down and saw the boys down at the gate. So stopped by, saw JJ, MJ, John, and the fellas. And it was just an awesome day. It was an awesome, just chill day for me, which was really good because we're going, like this with all this stuff going on for me. So having a cool day, smooth day, my favorite thing about today.
Couple things for me. This is kind of a weird one, but I look at society and a lot of things, and there's a band that you probably won't like, Dave, but there's a band called Sleep Token whose new album went to #1 today. They're like a pop metal band.
Okay.
I can't believe that America has this album at the #1 top of the charts in Billboard. This is reserved for Whitney Houston and Britney Spears and Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And there's a pop metal band. This new album is #1 on the Billboard charts today. I thought that was a very interesting look at society going, we're in a weird time. We're in a weird time that these are not the typical things you see as pop music going on. So one of the more fun things on the Discord channel that we get is people talking music and talking about their favorite bands and whatnot. And whether it be Stevie Mac and Addison talking about their metal love or other people that are on there talking about their favorite music. I thought that was something of a kind of an odd moment. By
the way, I talked to Stevie Mac on Saturday.
He called me on Instagram yesterday. It had to have been a butt dial or something.
I don't know, but I spoke to him on the phone. It was
good.
Awesome.
How's he doing?
Good.
Good.
Good to hear his voice. It was very good to hear his voice.
Good. Him and I, you should see our DMs. Oh my. He's
an
interesting.
Why he called me.
It's why he called you? Why would he call you?
A lot of people call me for different things.
Oh my God. Interesting cat. He's an interesting dude. Some of you guys have known the story, and I'll tell it kind of briefly, but my daughter is going on to be 11 years old, and she's dealt with pretty good anxiety for most of her now 2 years. You may be dealing with stuff. And when your kid is dealing with different things that can be somewhat debilitating at times, when they have big moments and big milestones, and I won't share what it was last night because she probably would get mad at me for sharing it, but it's always really special as a dad when you work really hard for something to kind of get your kid to a certain level, and then they get there on their own and they accomplish it. And to them, they don't see it as anything big. They just see it as like, okay. But like in the back of my head last night, I was like doing cartwheels that my daughter got to a point where she was doing things on her own that I've been working with her to do on her own for so long. And to have it go as smoothly as it did last night was like, I was doing, as a dad last night, I was doing a victory lap going like, okay, we got her there. It took me 11 years to get there, but I got there last night, or 10 and a half years last night. And I got there last night. So celebrate your wins as parents, guys. Like celebrate it when it happens and you've gone, whether it be a sporting event, a graduation, whether it be just simply like parking the car the right way outside
anything
of the house, anything. Celebrate your wins when your kids do what they have to do for you.
No doubt.
CBW Survivor announcement soon. What do you mean? The guarantee? Is that what you're after?
I think they're going to do it on Thursday.
Okay.
I think Circa's doing it on Thursday.
So we'll find, and then they open for business on the 23rd in 4 days, right?
Yeah.
So they'll make the guarantee announcement and then open up for business.
That's the plan.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
It'll be open this weekend.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
This weekend. Holy crap.
Yes.
Okay. Wild stuff. Guys, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We're back tomorrow. Remember, live show, new show tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we are off for the long weekend. So it's a 5-day long weekend for us. We'll explain that stuff later when we come back. But hope to see you all back tomorrow. He's Dave. I am Matt. Back tomorrow for a Tuesday's Bostonian versus the Bug.